Okay, good afternoon, class. Sorry for being late. Who will be our reporter today?
Group 7, ma'am.
Alright, so Group 7, are you ready? Let's start. Please proceed with your presentation. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, classmates. We are the Group 7 and we are tasked to discuss about our topic, the proposal. So, what is a proposal? Do you have any idea? None? Alright, so let me define first what is a proposal. So, a proposal is a plan or an idea, often a formal or a written one, which is suggested for people to think about and decide upon. It is also defined as a suggestion or a possible plan or action. Also, it can be defined as a detailed description of a series of activities aimed at solving a certain problem. Why is writing a proposal important? Well, it is a way to pitch an idea and state your requirements. So it's important for supervisors and people in authority because they can get information in writing and be able to act knowing the full implications of their decision. Well, there are different types of proposal. It could be a research proposal, a project proposal, or a business proposal. What is a research proposal? Well, a research proposal is a concise and coherent summary of your proposed research. It sets out the central issues or questions that you intend to address. It outlines the general area of study within which your research falls, referring to the current state of knowledge and any recent debates on the topic. It's to convince the reader why your project is important and your competence in the chosen area of research. Meanwhile, in a project proposal, it is a request for assistance to implement a project. The proposal outlines the plan of the implementing organization about the project, giving extensive information about the intention for implementing it, the ways to manage it, and the results to be delivered from it. So it has a framework that establishes ideas formally for a clear understanding of the project. So that's all for the definition and the background of proposal. Next is I will give the floor to my group mates to explain and discuss about the examples, different examples, and the types and elements of proposal.
Hello, good day. I am Jenny N. P. Padernal, and as a continuation, we will going to talk about the key elements of a complete proposal. The key elements of a complete proposal. Most proposals contain the elements described here. If the prospective grantor prescribes a format, then you have to follow it. And if a format is not given, the following section headings can be used as a guide. And I will tell you, the following section we're going to tackle today would really help you in making your proposal. The elements are given in the order they should appear within your proposal and not the order in which you write. So I want you to listen carefully. The first section is the cover. If the grantor does not provide a cover, you can create your own cover. You can create a simple cover, and in the cover, you can include the grantor's name and any special program name or number, the applicant organization, the submittal date, the project title, the proposed project period, and amount requested. And you can also include the project director's name and signature, and name and signature of Stockton's authorized representative, the president of the college, or designee. The second one is the table of contents. table of contents is the guidelines often do not mention a table of contents, but it is helpful to your readers to include one. Omit this if your proposal is very short or under 5 pages, which typically happens in a pre-proposal or some proposals to private foundation. And you can also include the major sections, but do not make the content so detailed that the information is hard to find. You have to take note for that. Next is the abstract. Abstract is also called the project summary. Under the abstract, you can briefly state the problem, the significance, the objectives, methods, and anticipated outcomes. Moreover, the typical length is 150 to 250 words, and this may be the first and or only thing a reviewer reads. So I want you to write this last and with enthusiasm. Next one, the project description, and it is also called narrative or research plan. So under the project description, there is also different section. The first is the introduction. In the introduction, you have to introduce the applicant. You have to establish credibility, particularly in the area for which is funding is being sought. Second one is the significance. It is also called the problem statement. You have to discuss here the condition the applicant wishes to change, and it also gives evidence of the problem, explain why solving the problem is important to the grantor, the applicant, and others. The third one is the objectives, and it is also called specific aims. Under this, you can state in measurable terms the project's specific desired outcomes. You can also relate the objectives directly to the stated problem. Now the fourth is the methodology. It is also called procedures, plan of work, or experimental design. Under this, you can describe the activities to be performed to meet the stated objectives. In this section also, you can defend your choice of activities, discuss who will perform these activities, and of course, you have to include a timetable. The fifth one is the personnel and the facilities, and or also called the qualification of applicant organization. Under this, you can describe in detail the qualifications of key project personnel, and you can describe the facilities already available or promised for carrying out the project. The sixth one is the evaluation. Under this, you have to state the plans to evaluate the project. In this section, you can indicate who will conduct the evaluation and will be done, of course, with the results. The last, the long-term project plans. Under this, you can describe plans for the project after the requested funding period, and if it will continue, what has been done or will be done to ensure support. Another key elements of a complete proposal is the budget explanation. It is also called budget justification. Under this, you have to arrange by budget categories. You have also to explain briefly how budget items were calculated. Details about the personnel, like their names, the salary, and the benefit rates, travel rates with date, of course, if known, specification numbers of equipment needs, amounts and cost per item of supplies, and indirect cost rates. Next is the vita. It is also called the resume or the biographical sketch. Under this, you can include vitae for the project director and key personnel, and you have to make certain that they will indicate the expertise related to the proposed project, of course. Some grantors have a specific format and may specify a page limitation or request that only relevant publications should be included. And if no guidelines are mentioned, then you have to keep the vitae short, and 2 to 5 pages can do. Next is the other support. It is also called current and pending support. Under this, you can indicate the key personal's current and pending projects, including this one: granting agency, project title, amount awarded or requested, project period, percent of effort committed by the individual, and project location. Some grantors also require a brief description of the project. Now the last one is the appendices. Appendices is also called attachments. Depending on the format for the main part of the proposal, some of the components described above may be included as appendices. Possible appendices include vitae, description of facilities, and equipment available to this project, letters of support, illustrations, letters of commitment. Appendices often include all material not allowed in another section, but you wish to make accessible to the reviewers. However, some grantors do not allow appendices and or make limitations on their length, so be choosy. So I think that would be all for the key elements of a complete proposal. Thank you for listening.
So, here are some examples of proposals. First is business plan proposal. When starting up a company, a business plan is a necessary step. In it, you will need to include your basic plan for the business and how it will grow in the future. A business plan is a factual broad description of a company on the executive and operational level. A business proposal is a focused sales document intended to describe how a company will approach a project, state the value of the project to the client, and solicit the client's business. Why write a business plan? Are you still unsure whether a business plan is worth the time and investment? Can't you just jump right into starting and running your business? You could, but you'll be missing out on some key benefits that a business plan provides. Having a business plan will help you in the following ways. First, a business plan will help you grow business faster. Writing a business plan is about establishing a foundation for your business. You're not predicting the future. You're working through the core strategy of your business that will help you grow. This initial document isn't meant to be perfect, but is designed to be reviewed and adjusted to help you identify and reach your goals. Without a business plan as a baseline, it will be far more difficult to track your progress, make adjustments, and have historical information readily available to reference when making difficult decisions. Creating a business plan ensures that you have a roadmap that doesn't just outline where you plan to go, but where you've already been. Second is pitch and get funding. Investors and loan providers need to know that you have a solid understanding of the trajectory of your business. You need to prove that there is an attainable and sustainable need for your solution, that you have a strong business strategy, and your business can be financially stable. This means having the right financial statements, forecast, and a digestible explanation of your business model available for potential investors. Writing your business plans help you put all those pieces together and create connections between to tell a cohesive story about your business. Third, it will make confident strategic decision, often the biggest decision you will make for your business. or amidst volatile periods of growth, decline, or even external crisis. This requires you to make highly consequential decisions far more quickly than you may like. Without up-to-date planning and forecast information, these decisions may be less certain or strategic that they need to be. By having a written business plan that you're regularly reviewing, you can make confident decisions. You'll have all the information necessary to know when you can hire new employees, launch a new project, line or make a major purchase. At the same time, you can also plan ahead in case decision doesn't work as expected, minimizing your potential risk.
Now let's have another two proposal. It's a research proposal and a project proposal. First, let me define you a research proposal. This is written and documented proposing a research project generally in the sciences or academia, and generally constitutes a request for sponsorship of that research. Proposals are evaluated on the cost and potential impact of the proposed research and on the soundness of the proposed plan for carrying it out. So this means your research proposal is an important part of application process. It summarizes your research question you want to answer through your research. It demonstrates your knowledge of the subject area and shows the methods you want to use too. So as we go further to this research, the importance in writing a proposal are first, highlights its originality or significance of your research. Second is explain how it develops or challenges or there may be a challenges existing knowledge of your subject. Third is identify the importance of your proposed research. Fourth one, demonstrate why you are the correct person to undertake this research project. A research proposal is part of assessment of your application. The purpose of the research proposal is your chance to explain the significance of your project to organization that might wish to fund or otherwise support it. Ideally, it will demonstrate the quality of the importance of your project as well as your ability to conduct the proposed research. So now what would be the research proposal should include in writing? First, of course, the title. Your title should give a clear indication of your proposed research approach or a key question. The second one is a background and rationale. The background and issues of your proposed research. Identify your discipline, something a sort of literature review or a summary of key debates and developments in the field. The third one is research questions. You should formulate this clearly, giving an explanation as to what problems and issues are to be explored and why they are worth exploring. The fourth one, research methodology. It provides an outline of the theoretical resources, the research methods, discussion of advantages, as well as limits of particular approaches and methods. The fifth one is plan of work and time schedule. You should include an outline of the various stages and corresponding timelines for developing, implementing the research. According to my research, for full-time study, your research should be completed within 3 years. With writing up completed in the 4th year of registration. For part-time study, your research should be completed within 6 years, with writing up completed by the 8th year. And of course, bibliography. This is a list of references to key articles and texts discussed within your research proposal. So that's the research proposal is. The second example that I collect is a project proposal that is almost similar to research proposal. So let's define what it is. The project proposal is the initial document used to define an internal or external project. The proposal includes sections such as title and ends with dates, objectives and goals, requirements, and a descriptor of the proposed solution. The project proposal functions as the working document between the agency and the client before a potential initiation of the project. Thus, project proposal is used to define the objectives and requirements of the project for the internal party for the internal part. So it is a method to analyze the feasibility and profitability of the project. One of the most important purposes of the project proposal is to allow decision makers to more objectively compare vendors. With a project proposal, decision makers can compare prices, processes, and projected outcomes. This detailed information helps decision makers make more informed and objective vendor decisions. The best thing in project proposal isn't just about securing a new project, but it's about representing your team and your organization responsibly. Project proposals should focus on the subject's goals and vision, the key deliverables, time frame, and ownership. Other data you can include are key risks and issues, success criteria, and reporting. Project authorization should include a list of everyone who has authorization throughout the project. In the project proposal, they tell the stakeholders where your project ideas should be executed. Reading about your ideas in a well-written document should convince stakeholders to support them. You may use project proposal for the following purposes. So the first one is to secure funding, of course, to win new clients, to get existing clients to sign and extend their contracts, to convince manager or employer to allocate resources to a new initiative. So that is the following purposes of a project proposal. So that was all about the two proposal, the differences between research proposal and project proposal.